Hello, everybody, and welcome to Early Access Podcast, episode 63. A whole lot of nothing. Yeah, I'm your host, Angelo, and thank you for coming back to Early Access Podcast. Yeah, it's been a pretty slow week. There hasn't been too many games that have come out. Actually, I only have two, one of which isn't even a Early Access release. I haven't really played anything since the last couple, probably since... I guess the Flame and the Flood before the last podcast. So it's just been a pretty slow week. This is a slow week for games, and it's a slow week for movies. It's just generally a slow week for everything. It's just September, October. We're ramping into the holiday season, so you're going to see a lot more games coming out throughout the holiday season. So unfortunately, hasn't really been too much to really show you guys. So, however, I have been playing a lot of Destiny. I know I've been talking a lot about Destiny in the last couple episodes, but I can't help but just enjoy the hell out of that game every time I play it. So, I just wanted to touch on real quick, and this actually, it's not really like an indie thing or an early access thing, but the thing I've noticed with Destiny, and I talked about this in the last episode, or it might have been the one before that, and it's about how people don't really understand what an MMO is, specifically these young guys. I was in a raid group because I finally got to the proper level to do the new raid for the Taken King, and I'm fairly adverse when it comes to raiding. I raided a lot in WoW, so it's very easy. It's not hard. It's just a lot of communication. And it's a lot of damage checks. It's just making sure that you have the ability to do it. And what happened was I found that a bunch of the groups I found through the forums on Bungie's website to get groups together to try to join in a group to do the raid didn't work out. And then I realized it's because, like I said before, most of the people playing Destiny don't really understand the concept of playing an MMO. So what would happen is we would get in there, we would make like 2 attempts, and people would start getting frustrated, and then that would continue and continue and continue, and then people would just leave within the first half an hour. And I just don't understand how they expect to beat these things. It's not supposed to be easy. Like, this is the end game content. It's a challenge. Every time you do it, there was plenty of raids that we did in WoW that we would, take our 3-hour scheduled raid time and bash our head against the same boss for 3 hours and not even down them. And then we would do this a couple times a week until we figured out the routine to get all the bosses down. But even once we were at the point where, as a group, and this is a group that spent weeks killing these bosses and learning the mechanics, once we did, we still would wipe on occasion. I think the expectations for the raids in this game are just way too low. These people are coming in there and it's like, you can't learn to raid, you're gonna lose, blah 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 blah. And I think it's because it's lacking the stuff that, come on Bob, stop, I'm talking. I think it's lacking something that WoW ended up putting into the game at some point, which was the LFR, the looking for raid. I think it needs something similar. Offer lower level gear with a raid finder where the mechanics are still there, but the encounters aren't as hard. So this way everybody gets to see the content. I don't know why this isn't a thing. WoW found out early on that people didn't like not being able to play some of the content, and I feel like with the raids, without going out of your way to go online and try to find the game, like find a group to play in the raid, or having a group of people to do the raid, and also having a group of people that are competent to do the raid, you're just going to miss out on some really cool content, because the raid's actually really well done. I find the mechanics are pretty straightforward. It's a lot of things that I did in WoW, like, you go stand here, you build up stacks of some buff or debuff, and then you have to swap it with somebody else, or you have to drop off the buff. You got to trigger some things. But this game's a lot more mobile, so you get to see some really cool things that I would never see in a traditional MMO, like the sisters boss in the raid is pretty cool, where you have to you have to coordinate with your group and step on these platforms, and then one of them has to jump on these platforms up, grab an orb, drop it off at somebody, and then it gives you this like bubble buff that allows you to damage the bosses and not die. I think it's a really cool mechanic. I think all the boss fights so far are really awesome. The only one I haven't done is the final one, which is Oryx. That's the only boss I haven't downed yet. But I think for an MMO, I think they're doing some cool things with the raid stuff. I would just like to see them do something a little with the matchmaking system. Maybe don't offer the same tier gear that the people that are doing it on the harder difficulty, but make it, a lower tier gear, make it a little bit easier so people can learn the mechanics, so when they do go online to want to jump in, they know what's happening. I think it's worked well for WoW, and I think it would work well here. Plus, it gives that percentage of people, because a lot of people don't finish the raids. I know that from reading about it. Even in WoW, a lot of people don't play the raids and don't finish some of the higher end stuff. It'd be a nice way to allow these people to enjoy the content and potentially make the fan, not the fan base, but the raid group of people that are online a little bit stronger and know what they're doing. Bob, I know you want scratches. I know. But that leads me to the next thing. So that's all I really played. I did play some more Flame in the Flood. I didn't really get anything up. I had a lot of personal stuff going on this week, so I didn't have a chance to really play anything, and I haven't written any reviews in a couple weeks now, like a week and a half, because I really haven't played anything that's warranted a review. I'll probably get one up for the Flame in the Flood at some point as I play a little bit more of that. But other than that, I haven't really played too much that really deserves a review. But I did want to talk about this game. Now, this isn't an early access game. It comes out on the 30th. This was delayed by about a week, and it's called Armikrog. Now, this is a claymation game made by the guys that did Earthworm Jim and Neverhood. It's a point-and-click adventure game. It's claymation, and it looks amazing. Go watch the trailer. The link's in the show notes. The trailer looks really good. It's funny. It's got a lot of humor in it. It looks like a lot of fun. They pushed it back. It was supposed to come out in the beginning of this month. I think the first week of September or maybe the last week of August. But it got pushed back because they found a game-breaking bug about halfway through, and they wanted to make sure that the game was working well. It seems like they figured it out, so it's going to be coming out in a couple days now. It does have a pretty high price tag. It's $25. It's 10% off, though, on launch. Actually, up until launch. So if you pre-order it now, it's 10% off up until the 30th for $22.49. There's also a digital deluxe edition, which I am unsure of what that comes with. But it looks really cool. Claymation games are few and far between. I think Earthworm Jim is probably one of the best ones. Maybe Clay Fighters is up there in how good claymation video games can be. But like I said, this one's got a lot of humor. It just looks really interesting. It's got some great art. I love the dedication that they put into a game like this. It makes it so you can be confident that the game's going to be worth your time. No one's going to go through all the trouble of making a hand-animated claymation video game and have it be terrible. Not that they, you can't always choose which way you go when you make a game. You don't know how the audience is going to react. But I have to imagine just that dedication and passion and just work ethic to make a game like this is going to show. It's just going to show. So go check that out. Armikrog comes out in a couple days. I think I'm getting a key for it, so keep an eye out for the first look, because that's definitely coming up. Alright, so like I said, not too much has come out. I got one early access game that I pulled for you guys, and I also pulled an indie game that I saw that was listed that looks pretty interesting. So this first one is an early access game. It's got 20 reviews, of which 95% are positive, which I find kind of funny. It's $8.49, 15% off until October 2nd, so it's usually $10. And it's called Uncraft World. Now, Uncraft World is this pixel art side scroller. So it's hard to explain. You're fighting your way through these side-scrolling pixel platformer puzzles, and the whole point is to finish the level to reveal a scantily clad anime lady in the background. You know, I know sex sells, and it shows because it's positive. So I don't know what to think of it. It looks really charming, though. Aside from the gratuitous, you know, naked ladies in the background, like the actual game part of it looks pretty interesting. I don't know exactly what they're doing as far as gameplay, because I haven't played it, but from the video, it actually looks well animated. The pixel art style, like Minecraftian, if you will, looks pretty good. And like I said, people seem to be really enjoying it. So I would go check that out if you like boobs. I mean, as a man, I can't pass up boobs. So maybe I'll try to get a key for this and do a video and see what it's all about. But Uncraft World, you know, it's a game, I guess. Alright, so this next game is the one that I grabbed that's not in early access. So this came out a couple days ago. It's got 13 reviews, all of which are positive. It's $9.99, but it's 20% off until the October 2nd as well. And now, this is a game, it's called Mold on Pizza Deluxe. And it's a mold growing game where you're fighting against the preservative troops and conquering a pizza. So there's a bunch of different kinds of molds that you choose from. It's kind of like a tower defense game. So it's a side-scrolling tower defense game where you're using your molds to work your... it's not even tower defense. It just looks like a side-scrolling action game. So you're picking from, it said, a list of 21 different molds. I guess you're deploying troops. You're leveling them up. And then you're fighting your way across the pizza, trying to spread your mold as much as you can. It's a really interesting game. The art style is really cool. All the character designs are really neat. And with 13 positive reviews, I think it's actually probably pretty good. But yeah, go check that out. Mold on Pizza Deluxe. It's only $8 right now for the next few days, so it might be worth your money. It just looks really interesting. I think it's just a cool looking game. I don't know. The art style is really neat. I can't get over how cute everything is, and you know, the concept is a little bit different. You don't see too many off the wall concepts like that. However, it is a side scrolling game, so I'm not sure. And it has multiplayer too, and mini games, it says. So go check that out. Mold on Pizza. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Unfortunately, this is pretty short because only a couple things came out. I haven't really had a chance to play much. But, you know, still doing it, putting it out there. So, as usual, Early Access PC on Twitter. Go follow me there. Early Access podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, share the videos, like them, thumbs up. I like it. If you have any questions, comments, anything, email at earlyaccesspodcast.com to get in touch with me. If you want to be a part of that crowdsourced thing I was doing, I haven't gotten any responses yet, but if you want to hit me up with your YouTube channel, your Twitch stream, anything, I'll plug it at the end of every episode. At the end of the episodes, go to the website, click through the Amazon banner at the bottom of the page. You know, every little bit helps. Bookmark it, use it whenever you buy anything off Amazon. Patreon.com/earlyaccess. Might be early. No, I don't know. Early access or early_access. I can never remember. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but, you know, I do this twice a week, so I'll remember by next time. But, as usual, guys, thanks for listening, and go check out Armikrog. It looks really cool. Go watch the trailer, because video games. I'll see you guys next time. Ow.